Glenn Weinstein here from Glenn Weinstein Fitness, and I want to talk you through your chest day. The chest day on this program, well, let's not lie, every fucking day is a tough one on this program. Every day involves some heavy lifting, very high volume superset, drop sets to keep the volume high when you're exhausted. I mean, the program's tough. The program's tough for a reason. It's 6 weeks. You're trying to change as much as possible. So if you think you're going to have a big change in 6 weeks without kicking the shit out of yourself in the gym every time you go, you are wrong, because 6 weeks transformation is not easy. So here it goes. What I want to take you through first is some of the extra little preps I do. If you haven't watched it, go watch my stretch routine. It's something I do before every workout. Then I do these little stretches before my chest day, because I do have an old shoulder injury from about 4 years ago. So I do some banded passovers, focusing on scapular retraction and some mobility through my shoulders. Some wall angels, as you can see there, keeping my shoulders and elbows pulled back into the wall, and again focusing on my scapular retraction and movement. I even do some wall press just to get those little fast twitch pressing muscles warmed up. Then I pretty much always like to start a chest day with flies, and when it comes to chest day and my fly work, I don't really think too much about counting reps or counting sets. I probably do 5 to 6 sets of 15 reps in each from different ranges, just to get my chest really nice and hot and warmed up. Then I went into dumbbell chest press, supersetted with press up variation. So I did go quite heavy on my dumbbell chest press. I went up to I think 44, or that's a 50 kilo dumbbell. I'm pretty impressed. 50 kilo dumbbell there, despite not feeling too strong in the gym. I was managing to get out about 8 reps, but the point is to get about 8 reps out. So you're right at the beginning of hypertrophy, you get 8 reps out and then go straight into a bodyweight press up, to make sure that your body stays functional, to make sure that you can actually use all this muscle that you're building. I did those press ups in a couple of different hand positions as well. This is the beginning of the workout still, so I did it from narrow as well as wide. After 3 rounds of that superset, we went into a relatively heavy decline bench press. Now that's what's that? It's about 110 kilos, which is, I mean, it's not that heavy because I'm getting out 8 to 10 reps. The dumbbell is not the best piece of equipment to use when you're doing chest flies, but I quite like supersetting it with a declined chest, because you can kind of Arnie the motion. You can kind of get a bit of a twist through the motion, and I'm not cheating here. I'm thinking about moving slow and engaging from the inside of my chest first all the way to the outside during that movement, so I'm squeezing the shit out of that muscle on the way through the movement. There is no point in cheating here. You're not counting reps, you're making reps count. I know it's a cliche, I know it's boring to hear, but if I don't say it, you're gonna hear it from somebody else. So please, don't count your reps, make your reps count. Don't use momentum, squeeze the muscle for a hypertrophic response. We want muscle growth. Okay, so after 3 sets there, we went into a really tough drop set for incline bench press. Now you don't want to go too heavy for an incline bench, you want to focus on squeezing the muscle again. And we were here for 3 drops, so 10, 10 and max reps. We initially set this at 10, 10 and 10. You might even hear Ash shout that out at the beginning of that segment. But if you train with a training partner, you shouldn't be there to count to 10. You should be there to beat that person, or at the very least beat yourself. So if I get to 10, which I do, and I feel like I've got a couple more reps, then keep going and keep going and keep going until you terrify the guy who has to follow you. Okay, that's the best way to do drop sets with a spotting partner. Okay, after that 4 rounds we did there of that drop set. Then we went into another drop set, superset this time, of flat bench press. Again, we went relatively heavy, something that I could just about get 4 reps out on, and we went from a 4 rep weight to something that is approximately a 12 rep weight. However, you're not going to be able to get 12 reps. After you've shocked your central nervous system, getting out 4 hard reps, you drop the weight and get out as many as you possibly can with as little rest in between that as possible. Rest about 90 seconds and on to the next exercise. We did that for 3 rounds. The idea being to shock your nervous system, keep the muscle big and full, because if you let your body know that you still have to shift a lot of weight even though you're losing body fat, the muscle will stick around, and then keep the volume in there to keep that fullness, that thickness in the muscle as well. that's the bulk of the workout. So now what we went into, after the muscle is pretty much fatigued through all of its major motions, we went into some pretty heavy flies. So again, you really have to squeeze those flies out, and you are thinking about pulling the weight, drawing it into the center of your chest and making it work. Don't think, why does the center of my chest never work and really grow? Think about it whilst you're trying to work it and engage it properly. Then we went into an incline, narrow grip press up. Again, that's somewhat tricep focused because our finisher is going to involve triceps, but again, that's really involving the center of your chest. And what I'm thinking about when I'm doing this exercise is pushing my elbows forward and together. Pushing my elbows forward and together. I'm not really thinking about it like a press up motion. All of the movement in my mind is coming from my elbows. So draw into the center of your chest. Finally, we went on to a finisher superset, which was done in a similar way to my bicep and abs superset that finished my back day. So what we did here, I didn't actually record my rope pull downs, but I went for a cable pull down for the triceps, immediately into a single leg hanging raise for my lower abs, or for my abs in general. It's great for your obliques as well. From that single leg hanging raise, straight into a rope pull down for 15 reps, or as many reps as you can get out. Again, not using momentum, but actually squeezing into the muscle group. And then from that rope pull down, straight into this ab exercise, which is one of my favorites, and it's the only abs exercise that I ever really do with any significant weight. And I'm aiming to kind of stretch right up towards the ceiling. I'm not thinking about curling around to shorten the muscle. I'm thinking about keeping my abdominal wall long, engaged hard, and stretching all the way up towards the ceiling with that weight right up over my head. This was a tough day, huge amount of volume going through it, so I didn't want to risk any sort of injury by doing uphill sprints or anything like that, so I picked a static piece of equipment to go on to next, and we did interval rounds on the spin bikes again. I actually had a few people with me this time, my training partner, a mate of his, and my beautiful fiance. So we all did these rounds together, and it was fantastic having a bit more energy in the room. We got through 12 rounds of 30-30s, and that music was really carrying the energy level. Chest day is everyone's favorite. They all do it in the same way, on the same day, with the same people, with the same weights. This is your new program. This is your new stress. Shock your central nervous system, shock your body, shock the muscles, focus on hypertrophy, not on counting your reps, and I promise you, your response will be so much greater. There is no way your muscles can stay the same if you are actively trying to squeeze every last ounce of energy out of them in every rep. You've got to condition your body for this kind of volume, and you've got to get your body ready for a 6-week program that requires training like this. It was an awesome day, chest day. Motivation was there. I had a good training partner, good energy in the gym. You've got to think, you know, I'm here for 6 weeks. I've got a clear goal, a defined timeline that I'm doing this for, and I'm staying focused and I'm sticking with it for that period of time. So that was your chest day. Think again about squeezing the muscle, not counting the reps. It's so boring watching people just count and never change in the gym. Don't be one of those people that shows up to the gym every day and never changes. You're here looking through this program, I'm hoping with a pen and paper in front of you to mark down these workouts, write down exactly the exercises you need to do, 60 to 90 second rests in between everything, keeping that heart rate high, the volume high, the weight as high as possible where it's safe to. Enjoy the program. I love it. It's working so far. It's keeping me lean and mean. Love it. Don't forget, follow me on Facebook, Glenn Weinstein Fitness. Follow me on Instagram, Glenn Weinstein Fitness. And if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. Message me on Instagram. Tell me what you want to be seeing. I want to help. I want to help everyone as much as possible, apart from the fucking bug flying into me. Anyway, speak to you all soon. Glenn Weinstein, out.